Hi, and welcome to the Jenspiration Conversation. My name is Jennifer, and if this is your first time landing on one of my videos, it means that my favorite algorithm, which is the universe's algorithm, has put this video in your path for a reason. Nothing is a coincidence. In fact, I did a video about that nothing is a coincidence. So perhaps there are some nuggets of information in this video that will be helpful, or maybe you'll learn something. Maybe someone will comment something below and it'll just like ding, 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 like set a light bulb off in your head. The Jenspiration Conversation is something that I created where we can come together as a collective and just have conversations. We talk all things spiritual, but we keep it street. We've got like a street spirituality brand here, and if that sounds like you, then I invite you to stick around, check out other videos, or see if this is a collective that you want to be a part of. Today's video is kind of a follow-up video to one that I did all about your closet. A lot of people are probably like, you did a spiritual video about your closet, and I sure did. But in that video, I lightly touch on color, and so I thought, you know what, today feels like a really good day to do color. And I was drawn to softer colors for the decor today, because I always encourage you to pull up a chair and have a seat at my table. That's just why I love filming here. Some of the best conversations are had at dinner tables, but I also like to decorate my dinner table for our conversations. So pause me if you need to, go make a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. I have some coffee. It's still morning here. I am filming on a Saturday morning. And if you hear a little bit of music in the background, I just have an home energy frequency on, just kind of cleansing my home. And if that piqued your interest, I also have another video on how to cleanse your home, and part of that is putting a sound frequency on. So let me take a sip of coffee, and we're going to talk about color today. I love talking about color. Complete side note, for those of you who don't know, I also run my own business. I'm an interior designer, and I am a professional home stager, so I stage houses for clients, hence why I have so much decor. I digress. So color is always a topic that initially brings clients to me. They'll call me and they'll say, you know, my partner and I can't decide on a color for our home, and we're having trouble picking a flooring color that matches the wall color, etc., etc. But the gist of this video is I wanted to bring awareness to the lack of color in society. If you are like me and you're a Gen Xer, or even somewhere in the vicinity of a Gen Xer, you might be a baby boomer or whoever, you will remember that our homes used to be vibrant. We had color and pattern. We had like every room in the house was a different color, and at the time no one thought anything of it. It was just color. Color wakes you up. Color helps you resonate with different chakras in your body, and that's the second part of the video. So back then we lived in vibrant color. We went outside and buildings were colorful, our cars were colorful, our homes were colorful, our clothes were colorful. Think like 90s neon, right? 80s neon. Actually, the 90s were more like that kind of hip hop, but like 80s neon, and like 70s, like that vintage kind of throwback feel with like the mustards and the rust, and then the neon in the 80s, and then so we had color surrounding us all the time. So we were a society that was a little bit more awake. And then the 2000s called, and they were like, let's put a stop to that because we need the world to sleep. We need people to conform and be less creative, and we need to keep people in a box, right? And it's not something that just like happened overnight. This is something that took time, right? So the 2000s was kind of the beginning of, we need to strip color away and like neutral is the way to go. Now listen, if you live in your home and it's neutral colors and you enjoy neutral because it calms you down, fantastic. I am not telling you to change anything about your house. If you love your house in neutral tones and it does what it needs to do for you, then great. But I am saying that you don't have to. Just because it's trendy, the sad beige era hit hard and everyone stripped color away and we went to white and cream and taupe and beige. And yes, it's wonderful because it's light and it's airy and I get it and there's a time and place for it. But we have taken it out of everywhere. We have taken it out of schools. Schools is the place that it should never have left, right? If you go into a school right now, it's concrete and gray and steel and black. And it's just like, where is the color, right? The hallways need to be painted vibrant colors, especially for kids. Like, let's not try to conform the children that early, shall we? Anyway, so color's been stripped from office buildings. It's been stripped like hospitals. Like that's another place that color should actually be. Color can help heal people because in a second, I'm going to tell you about all of the colors of the chakras and how the color you paint your home and the colors you wear help balance out that particular chakra. So hospitals, how about we bring in some beautiful deep greens and royal blues and purple and pink and whatever color just to wake people up and make them feel better. But no, society wants you to just stay grim, right? Let's just keep humans in a box. Let's not be creative anymore. Let's not let people lean into their creativity. Let's get people to take less pictures, paint less, draw less, dance less, sing less, because all of those creative things vibrate with your sacral chakra, because that's like the seat of your creativity and joy. So by removing the color that your sacral chakra resonates with, people feel less inclined to be creative. They're like, okay, well, I'm just going to conform and I'll just do what everyone else is doing. Even when I worked in the corporate world, like power suit colors, I'm actually starting to see a trend where people are starting to wear more colorful business suits, which I love. Hot pink, burgundy, like robin egg blue. Yes, bring that into the office. But yet when someone walks into the office wearing that, everyone's like, whoa, why isn't it like gray or black or brown or navy blue? Like, what is she doing, right? You start to stand out when actually it should be the norm. So just to kind of reiterate about the color in your home, I want you to just think about it for a minute. Where you spend most of your time is your home, right? So your bedroom, your home office if you have one, the den where you watch TV, your kitchen, these are all hearts of the home, right? And you're kind of different versions of yourself in those spaces. Like your kitchen is probably where you entertain a lot. The living room is where you snuggle up with your kids and watch movies. So if you choose to have beige and white walls, that's completely fine. But if you're open to it, maybe lean into a color because there's a plethora of them. There's a lot of them in the rainbow. And my favorite color consultations to do as a designer are the ones where clients call and say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to step outside of my beige box and paint my walls a color. And when I get there and I start talking to them, I can see which chakra they're leaning into by the colors that they start leaning towards. And the wonderful thing about paint is you can paint over it. Okay? I know I've painted many rooms myself. Painting's not fun. It can be fun, but just hire someone if you can afford it. If not, then take your time and repaint it. If you decide to paint your office a deep shade of burgundy and you are working and thriving in that environment for a little while, and then maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, you're like, you know what? I'm not quite resonating with burgundy right now, because that's what happens. Our frequency changes. So the frequency that you were at in your burgundy era, yes, you're probably getting out of that phase because you're a human and you're growing and you're evolving. Maybe you're going to start leaning into deeper greens or bright yellow or like a royal purple, right? Maybe that's where you start to head towards. Great. Then you can paint that room a different color. Paint's the easiest thing to change. Flooring's not. Tiles not. Kitchen counters aren't. Kitchen cabinets can be painted. Bathroom cabinets can be painted. Actually, my favorite rooms in people's homes, this is going to shock you, but it's actually half baths. Bathrooms that are small, because that's where you can let your creativity run rampant, right? You can do funky wallpaper in there. You can paint your like if you have a little sink, like a little cabinet under your sink, I don't know, paint it turquoise and do like turquoise birds wallpaper, because it's such a small space. If you're too scared to step outside and do like a bigger room, start with like a half bath. And if wallpaper is not your thing, okay, paint it, but paint it a color and then live with it and be like, you know what? I kind of like this room. It's a half bath, but I really like this room. And then you might get the urge to paint other rooms in your house. Before I switch over to kind of the clothes that you wear and the chakra colors, I just want to say, I hope my friend Miranda is watching this video. My friend Miranda is this really sweet human and she's a Leo, and she and her husband are like the cutest couple. They're just so sweet with each other, and they make all their decisions together, like they talk them out. And over the past, I would say, year, she's messaged me and she's like, I'm getting into my color era. And she showed me a picture of what she was going to paint her living room. And I freaked out. She picked the richest, deepest shade of green, and it looked like emerald on her wall. Like, it was so beautiful. And she did say she was terrified a little bit when her husband started to paint, but as he painted and put more coats on, like, she said, like, the color woke her up. And green is the color of your heart chakra. It's also the color of money and abundance. So who doesn't want more of that in their life? So she picked a big space. Like, congrats, Miranda. Like, you picked a big space. And then just a couple of weeks ago, she sent me a screenshot of like what she was going to paint her office. And girl has gone deep orange in her office. I love that she goes for deeper shades. It's this deep, beautiful, yummy shade of orange. And orange is the sacral chakra. So her house is leaning into heart and sacral. So her creativity is coming back to life. Her heart space is opening up. And just a couple days ago, she sent me a photo of like, I think it's like this shelf area that she painted, like this like archway thing on the wall, and then she put shelves up and she decorated it. And I just said, you got it. Like, her house is starting to feel more and more like her. You don't have to live in a construction white box. You can lean into you. You live in that home. You get to decide what goes where. And if Miranda changes her mind in 2 years and decides that orange is not her office color anymore, then great. She can put some primer on it and change it. So I just want to tell you that when it comes to your home, don't be scared. You live there. Embrace you in that home. Embrace your children in that home. Embrace your family in that home. Lean into what makes you happy and what brings you joy. If a bright yellow kitchen with a red coffee machine and blue cabinets where you're leaning into those primary colors, do it. Do it. Because no one's opinion matters except yours. It's your home. So I'm going to bridge that to your clothes. Your clothes are the same way. Our homes and our clothes are a expression of the self, right? It's who we are. So whatever you put on that day is more than likely, whether consciously or subconsciously, you are leaning into that particular chakra. So today, when I was getting ready, I'm wearing peach. I have like a rose gold watch on. I'm wearing peach, but I leaned into pinks. And pink is part of the higher heart chakra, and peachy orange is part of the sacral chakra. So I was feeling my heart space today, and I was feeling my sacral, because I feel like when I create videos, it's very much coming from my creativity. So let's have a drink of coffee. I even have like rose quartz crystals here. Just the vibration of them is so soft and so loving. So let me go through now there's 7 main chakras, but I'm going to include the higher heart chakra. It's not part of the 7, but higher heart is important too, because it's pink and it's all about self-love and love for everyone else. Okay, let's start with the first chakra, which is your root chakra. Some people call it your base. Most of us refer to it as your root chakra. So that is the chakra that sits pretty much at your base, at your tailbone, right? That's your closest chakra to earth. It's where the earth's energy comes up through you, right? So this particular chakra resonates with the color red, okay? Those deep reds, but also anything that feels earthy, right? So browns and burgundies and those darker shades of, like, you can get like darker shades of maroon, like there's red, but there's also maroon. But the chakras resonate with the color of the rainbow, right? So red is your root chakra. So if you see anyone walking around the world with red, and if they're wearing red or if they have red in their home, they're really resonating with their root chakra. And our root chakra has to do with the grounded things about our life: stability, safety, security, money, housing. All of those things that ground us is your root chakra. So if you are feeling a little unsettled in any of those areas, you can wear red and just kind of bring that red energy back into your chakra, and it'll help balance it out. Now, I could go on and on about the chakras, but I just want to keep this about the color today. So the next chakra up from that is your sacral chakra, which I've mentioned a few times. So it sits, I don't think you can see it, it sits just above your root chakra. It's the second one. And for women, it is our receptivity chakra. It is the sexual chakra for both men and women, but it is the seat of your intuition. Your intuition is housed in your sacral chakra, and that's where joy, creativity, expression comes from. It's such a beautiful chakra for those of us who are creative, but even if you don't think you're creative, you actually are. We all have all of this energy in us. It's just whether or not we choose to acknowledge it. So if you see someone, me, I'm wearing peach, which is a version of orange, wearing that on a particular day, they are really resonating and leaning into and showing their sacral chakra some love. Okay. The next chakra up from that is your solar plexus. So the solar plexus resonates with the color yellow, and that's kind of right behind your belly button. The solar plexus, solar, think sun, this is where your power and your drive and your gumption and your get up and go and your leadership and your desire to move forward comes from. Right? So solar, sun, we get energized from the sun. This is where you're like, let's go, comes from, right? So it's Aries season when I'm filming this. So I do feel my solar plexus has been activated with Aries season, just because there's that like, let's go, right? So again, if you go to someone's home and you see their kitchen painted a bright sunny yellow, well, they're resonating with their solar plexus at that time. And does it take courage to paint your cabinets or your kitchen yellow? Sure, it does, because everyone's made you feel like everything's supposed to be toned down. Don't be loud with your color. Tone your color down. If you see someone wearing a bright yellow Hawaiian shirt, they're really resonating with their solar plexus on that particular day. The next chakra up from that is your heart chakra. So in the main chakras, it makes up number 4. So you've got green, but then pink is the higher heart chakra. So the lower heart chakra, that's where things like grief and fear and uneasiness and just like stuck emotions can sit in your lower heart chakra. And once you go through some of your healing and you start to scrape that out and you heal and you open your heart, your energy will move into your higher heart chakra. And your higher heart chakra, pink, is self-love. That's why you have people who may gift you pieces of rose quartz for self-love. But you're like, well, wait, like that's not heart chakra. It is. Pink is the higher heart chakra. So if someone's walking around the world wearing some pink, doesn't matter what shade it is, dark pink, light pink, pastel pink, they are resonating with their higher heart chakra. So they're showing themselves lots of self-love. They're showing and projecting love for all things. When you reach a place where you're vibrating with your higher heart chakra, you have a profound understanding of love, deep love and respect for yourself, but also for everyone around you, regardless if they've hurt you or not, because remember, you've cleaned out your lower heart chakra. Now, I did say earlier that, green does resonate with the color of money too, and abundance. So you can correlate that if you're wearing green or if you're wearing pink. So if someone's walking around the world in, color blocking is one of my favorite things to do. So let's say someone's walking around with like deep green pants and a pink top. Whoa, they are really resonating. Their heart is open and they're really resonating with their heart chakra. Check out company logos too. If you come across a brand or something, look at the colors in their logo and you'll see at the time perhaps what chakra they were resonating with when they created their logo. Coming up from the heart chakra, we move into the throat chakra. So this is your 5th chakra. The throat chakra is where we express ourselves, right? So it resonates with the color blue. So again, if you're looking at the colors of the rainbow, we're moving up the rainbow, right? So the color blue resonates with the throat chakra. So that's why a lot of corporate organizations, you'll see people in blue power suits, because it does help with your communication. Regardless of the shade of blue, it really will help open your throat chakra. Now, I want to show you my color. I have my color wheel here. I want to show you the color wheel. So this is the color blue, right? And what's the opposite of the color blue, which is orange? So I've actually designed a few living rooms for clients where we really leaned into blue and orange. So anything on the color wheel that is opposites attract. So these colors are very complementary. Well, guess what? They are when it comes to your chakras too. Your sacral chakra is orange, right? And I told you that's where your expression and your intuition and your creativity and your joy live, right? So you activate this, but you express it here. So expression of creativity doesn't always have to come from your voice. It can come from, well, singing, writing, counseling, teaching, making movies, directing, whatever can come from this expression. So expression doesn't have to be vocal all the time. It can be written. And like, it's not a coincidence that those two are opposite on the color wheel, right? If you look at, well, I'm going to get to the crown chakra in a minute, but I had a client who did her kitchen in yellow. She did yellow cabinets in her kitchen. I was so proud of her, like so proud of her. She did yellow cabinets. She did like a softer shade of yellow. And all of a sudden, she said she started to buy purple accessories. She's like, why am I buying purple? I said, because yellow and purple are opposite on the color wheel. That's why. You're buying purple because they're complementary to each other. And then it's not a coincidence that green and red, are Christmas colors because they're complementary on the color wheel. Okay? So that is the throat chakra. Rounding home, we have our third eye. So the third eye resonates with the color indigo, which is a darker blue. Some people say it resonates with purple as well, because these two chakras are so close together. Like your third eye and your crown chakra are so close that you can resonate with the color purple. But I like to use purple for my crown. So your third eye, people are like, you mean I have a third eye in my head? No, you don't have a third eye in your head. This is where it's like your sixth sense comes from. This is how your spirit guides talk to you, is through your third eye. So yes, it can also be your intuition. Like your sacral chakra can activate, and then you can be like, where's this coming from? It's coming from your connection to your spirit guides. It's like your third eye. It's like your sixth sense is coming from your third eye. So that resonates with the color indigo. Like for me, it's a deeper blue. Again, if you see people walking around with it, they're really trying to activate or open their third eye chakra. The final chakra, the seventh chakra, is your crown chakra, which sits on the top of your head. It is your direct connection to source. Now I say source, but if you believe in source or God or whatever deity that you believe in, that is your direct connection to them. Okay, I'm just going to say source. Source energy, that divine energy, whatever you believe in, this is your direct connection to source. So it's purple, which is why amethyst is such a good crystal to meditate with. So meditation is a way to connect with. Camera cuts off at 29 minutes. I really need to get a new camera. We're rounding home, Spirit. Like, I know you try to get me to be quiet. We're rounding home here. Your crown chakra is your direct connection to source. It does resonate with the color purple, but sometimes you'll see people say that white resonates with your crown chakra, and it does. I mean, this is a howlite crystal, and it's white, and it definitely is really good for meditation, and it does help me connect to source energy. So source can speak to you in your dreams, obviously through meditation, but your crown is also on the top of your head, right? So keeping your hair clean and your energy field clean there can help you connect to source. So if you see people walking around wearing purple, or they have purple in their home, When I was growing up, purple was my favorite color, and I didn't know why. I didn't know anything about the chakras. Well, it turns out it's because I was feeling drawn to a connection with source. And here I am at 48 years old, just like now understanding what that deep connection is. So I love a good deep purple. I love a good royal purple. Children's bedrooms that are painted purple. This is almost like, this bowl is almost like a purpley pink color. So that is the chakras in a very quick, in the color sense of the word. There are some really wonderful creators on YouTube who do a really fantastic job kind of explaining the chakras. In fact, there's a YouTube creator that everything I learned about the chakras, I learned from her. And if she's meant for you, she'll land in your feed. I adore her, and I'm so grateful for everything she taught me about the chakras, because she just landed in my feed one day. I was like, who is this person? And here I am a year and a half later, and I'm a subscriber to her channel, and I soak up every piece of information she has for me. So that is color in general. Color in your home, color in your wardrobe, color in everyday life. And I want to give a slow golf clap to businesses or any kind of like store right now that is opening, that is leading away from beige and embracing color. There's a cafe in my hometown that opened up, I think it was last year, and wow, they leaned in hard to, it's very girly. It's so girly, but I love it. And like, there was a lineup outside the door. We're talking wallpaper, we're talking pink, we're talking fairy lights, we're talking, they have swings that you can sit on and just have like a conversation with your girlfriends. But it's so colorful. Everything is color in there. And when you go in, you feel alive, because that's what color does. It wakes you up. So if you're subconsciously sleepy and you're not sure why, maybe add a color, a new piece to your wardrobe. If you're out shopping and you're like, why am I drawn to this bright orange t-shirt? It's because your sacral chakra is like, please spend some time with us and buy it. All right. Thank you for having this Jenspiration conversation with me today. I love talking color, and feel free to comment below and tell us what your favorite color is, or, you know, the designer in me would love to know if you're painting in a room in your house a particular color. Friends, I am so grateful. If this is your first time here, thank you for checking out the video. If this is your second, third, or fourth time here, you have no idea how much that means to me. I have such deepest gratitude that you've decided to come back and spend some time with us here on the channel. Lastly, before I go, I also have a podcast, if you're interested in that. It's called Jenspire'd, ''D, the podcast, and it's available on all your favorite streaming services. I'm already into season 2, so I think there's 18 or 19 episodes there where I talk about all kinds of things. And I'm a little unhinged over there. I just talk about life and relationships and spiritual awakenings and earth school and happiness and why shitty people come into your life. You know, we talk about all kinds of things over there. So check it out if you want to. I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.